welcome to SVG-TV's news for Friday, August 9th, 2024. I'm Triska Campbell with the details. More than 12,000 students across St. Vincent and the Grenadines will receive back-to-school support from the Ministry of National Mobilization. This was announced today by Minister of National Mobilization, Kisal Peters, who said that the Cabinet agreed to her proposal to have the program expanded, bearing in mind that many students were affected by Hurricane Beryl.
Under the approved expansion of the back-to-school grant, all students of the Northern and Southern Grenadines will receive uniform apparel, books, and school supplies. As regards mainland St. Vincent, students from households that registered loss and damage due to Hurricane Beryl will receive uniform apparel, provided that the household registered with the ministry on or before 7th August 2024. With the expansion of the back-to-school grant, the Ministry of National Mobilization is expected to assist 12,186 students.
The expansion program was allocated for in the hurricane supplementary budget. However, Minister Peters said that community members had made the recommendations to expand the program.
Implementation of the annual back-to-school component commenced in June 2024 through school-based and community-based recommendations, and it was anticipated to assist 6,012 students across St. Vincent and the Grenadines in accessing uniform apparel for the upcoming 2024-25 academic year.
During the consultations with the residents from Union Island last month, Minister Peters assured parents that their children will be all given uniforms for the new school year. A flash flood watch is in effect for St. Vincent and the Grenadines until tomorrow, Saturday at 6 p.m. This as a tropical wave forming in the central tropical Atlantic is being monitored by the meteorologists. The Barbados Meteorological Service said model guidance currently suggests that the feature should emerge from the monsoon as a tropical wave sometime on Sunday, August 11, 2024. The flash flood watch, which was issued by the SVG Meteorological Service at 6 p.m. today, stated that moisture levels are expected to increase across SVG overnight, and unstable conditions could maintain moderate heavy showers with thunderstorm activity across our islands during Saturday. Rainfall accumulations of 75 to 100 millimeters, approximately 3 to 4 inches, with higher amounts in mountainous areas are possible across SVG within the next 24 hours. Residents and motorists in areas prone to flooding and landslides or near rivers and streams should be prepared. A flood watch is issued when conditions are favorable and there exists the possibility of flooding during the watch period. This flash flood watch may be upgraded to a warning if conditions warrant. Recommendations have been made that would enable youths to become business-oriented in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. A 5-point plan was given by Minister of Business with the Parliamentary Advisory Council, Storm Gonzalez, at the inaugural Youth Summit. One of them is becoming financially literate.
We want to make business education ubiquitous, as we feel it is an inalienable part of a well-rounded education, no matter your vocation. Financial literacy is not only a necessary skill in business, but it's a necessary skill in life. And we hope to help young entrepreneurs find that education and to be financially literate.
Gonzalez, who is a young entrepreneur, noted that the ease of doing business in SVG has to cater to the needs of the young people. He said that mentorship is needed. Another recommendation made is to conduct a business that aligns with reducing a carbon footprint.
In 2024, businesses are the major contributors to greenhouse gas emissions, and we want to promote a generation of entrepreneurs that make the environment a priority. Likewise, we want to encourage the creation of businesses that do not exist solely for profit, but for the benefit of society as a whole.
The inaugural Youth Summit saw several speakers from the various youth ministerial sectors presenting on how to improve the lives of youths in SVG. 1,700 scholarships will be given out this year, an increase of 300 more from last year. This was announced by Prime Minister Dr. Afghan Salz during his weekly appearance on NBC Radio's face-to-face program on Wednesday.
Last year we gave about 1,300 tuition scholarships. The number is going to increase this year. My approach of the 1,600, once you are you have your matriculation qualifications to enter, and all your documents are in place, and you have acceptance to the university and everything of that sort.
Scholarship awards are made available for undergraduate and postgraduate programs for students primarily at institutions within the Caribbean. Also on radio, the Prime Minister appealed for more contractors and skilled workers to register with the Ministry of Housing and Roads, Buildings and General Services Authority, BRAGSA, to fast-track the rebuilding of SVG post-Hurricane Beryl. The Prime Minister said it gives the unemployed the opportunity to become gainfully employed.
There is no skilled worker, no unskilled worker who involved in construction. Nobody should be out of work today in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We have work for you to do. Please come forth. I can't make it any clearer than that. The Booster rights here. At this point, we have only 135 contractors registered with housing in all the constituencies. We need more. A person may say 135, there are plenty of contractors. But I have over 4,000 or 5,000 houses which I have to repair and build.
It has been more than a month since Hurricane Beryl struck, leaving destruction in its path. A donation was made to persons affected by Hurricane Beryl today at the Dr. J.P. Eustace Memorial Secondary School in Edinburgh. The donations were made by SVG-TV, a YouTube channel based in Jamaica, who felt it necessary to be of service to the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Right. We all know, things are rough, times are hard. Even everyday life, people struggle. So when Hurricane Beryl come and basically mash up everything, take away people, house, livelihood, some person leave without a job and all of that. We just find it in the kindness of our hearts to give back. That's a big thing. Like I say, people really, really need it. So we're out here just, doing whatever we can for them.
Meanwhile, local artist Shanique Smith said today's activity is a way to deal with the psychosocial aspects of the children that were affected by the Category 4 hurricane.
Trying to give them a little bit of comfort. That's what we know how. If you look over there, they're already attracted to my good friend there. So these are the things that makes the kids feel warm. And also, when I saw how Colors was so interactive with the other kids that he donated to, because donate all over St. Vincent, right? I figure it would be a good way for him to interact with the kids, because some of them would actually need not just female but male interactions as well in a positive way. So yeah, that's what we're working on here.
Colors Smith TV is a Jamaican-based YouTube channel. Its main purpose is to feed the homeless persons in Jamaica. The channel has been in existence for the last 4 years. St. Vincent and the Grenadines join the rest of the world today in observing World Day for Indigenous Peoples. And Technical Director of the Garifuna Heritage Foundation, Ziola Brown, is proposing a museum be built. Brown, who has been with the Heritage for many years, said it is about time that there is a museum for Garifuna people.
One of the projects that the Garifuna Foundation, Heritage Foundation, we have been considering is a museum, and I hope that one day Mr. Sutherland will also have a museum where he promotes the Kalinago culture and the Kalinago experience. But something like this, which is very mobile, which can take from community to community, and I'm sure he has shared with you that he has taken it to different parts of the region and different communities in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. That will allow education to take place in smaller spaces in smaller communities, which is an excellent effort.
Brown, who was at the cultural exhibition at the Peace Memorial Hall, lauded the organizers for showcasing the indigenous artifacts as they make people aware of the traditions and culture.
It's very important in St. Vincent and the Grenadines for the Kalinago contribution to our history and culture to be highlighted, because Garifuna came from the Kalinago and the African, but the Kalinago, there's not enough known and promoted about that aspect of the culture. So this excellent exhibition with the different features, with the people, with the plants, with the food, really indicates, I really would encourage as much Vincentians as possible who can come here to Peace Memorial Hall to come and experience it and to experience other educational efforts.
Meanwhile, President of the Garifuna Heritage Foundation, David Daki Williams, says the Caribbean Ties exhibition at the Peace Memorial Hall was timely and much needed. Speaking to SVG-TV News, Williams said there is a slight difference between the Kalinago culture and the Garifuna culture, which is worth knowing.
A lot of the time in St. Vincent, we have been hearing the Garifuna story. This is an excellent opportunity of exposing the Kalinago side of the story of our indigenous history. And I think Mr. Sutherland is probably the best person we could find to present that to us and to bring some clarity to whatever difference there is between the Garifuna and Kalinago, if there are any differences.
The artifacts that stood out for Williams at the exhibition were the spiritual and medicinal ones, which are linked to the Kalinago and the Garifuna culture.
It's not just a visual. It's not just a visual display. It is also highly educational. There are instructions on everything that you see. What it's good for. What if you have to be discouraged from using things. It is also there in the narratives that have been prepared for the exhibition. And I find it rather interesting. These two little holes, it operates like a pipe. There are these two little holes, and you stuff the medication inside there, which most likely would be vegetable in nature, and you put it there with the fire and so on, and these two little holes goes into your nostrils, and you breathe in, and I guess you ingest the medicine, and the smoke helps.
And Augustine Sado Sutherland, a proud native of the Kalinago tribe, said he is pleased that a day is set aside to observe and celebrate Indigenous people.
World Indigenous Day is significant to all Indigenous people around the world, especially me, coming from Kalinago background. My father has a Yellow Carib. When they declare such a day, World Indigenous Day, I feel that this is the time that Indigenous people who dull should come sharp. And I put myself in the way to make myself look sharp and to make myself look like a light, because what I send forth and what I put forth for people to see, part of which we lose. So I feel good about how we bring it forth as World Indigenous Day.
Sutherland said there are still many challenges faced by Indigenous peoples, especially in food and land issues, which he believes could be overcome.
Indigenous people around the world, they feel it, they see it, and they're getting squeezed because of Indigenous people. And I'm talking because of my own, as an Indigenous person, the problem that I get from a child until now, still. And I speak because of Indigenous people from around the world who I interact with. They feel the same, especially to do with space. I travel around the world with Indigenous people because of Leiden University, doing climate change and adaptation to climate and food, how to find food and this kind of thing. And because of that, I know. And it's very difficult today still to be a Carib, Kalinago, Awawak, Tiano, all of them. All of the people meet it hard still because of the Muzungu writing that is on the wall still.
The week of exhibition ended today. There are several other activities being hosted by the Ministry of Culture for the remainder of August as part of Emancipation Month.